Okay, so this is my third time filming this video because I don't know why, but it's been so hard to just like sit here and like focus and try to figure out the words to really say and how I should really put it into words, I guess. But my name is Brianna, and as you can tell by the title, I'm gonna be doing my single and pregnant video. I am currently 29 weeks. I'll be 30 weeks next week. So I'm almost finished with my pregnancy. I just wanted to do a sit down video, like kind of a summarized video of basically my pregnancy and basically my being single and pregnant. Just kind of like a quick view because I actually have to be somewhere and it's 3 o'clock and rush hour is very real down here in Texas. So I thought that I would go ahead and do this video. Let me just give you guys a summarize of how I met my daughter's father. I'm actually having a girl. Wow, that cut off because my alarm. Anyways, I'm having a girl. I'll do like a whole separate video on, you know, what her name is. I'm having a baby shower in July. My older sister's actually planning it for me, but I'll do like a whole separate video on that and whatnot. So I met her father when I was in college, my freshman year of college, my first semester. I actually did not get to finish my second semester because I found out that I was pregnant going into winter break. So yeah, we just met in my freshman year and we just kind of vibed because we were so much alike. You know, at first I wasn't really looking for a relationship, but then we were just like so much alike that it was just honestly kind of scary. Like we just vibed, I guess. And so obviously we did what teenagers do and what humans do, and that is have sex. So I did not know, let me just put this out there. He actually has a son, and so I did not know that he had another kid before we were dating or anything like that. Like I found that out like when we were talking, and so I had never dated anyone with a child before. So it was just brand new to me, and yeah, it was just brand new, and so I didn't think anything of it. A lot of people are probably thinking like, you're so stupid, you know, if he did it once before he would do it again. But it's just like there were no red flags when I was dating him. It was just like nothing. Like this, like what happened to me was just like so unexpected, and it just caught me by surprise. And so basically we ended up talking, and we ended up dating. And so I did not find out that I was pregnant until it was winter break. So I had my period November 5th, and I actually went a whole month without even knowing that I was pregnant. I wasn't having any symptoms or anything. The only thing that got a red flag was that I was starting to get really irritated and very annoyed and very moody, and I was like, you know, this is so weird. And then I remembered that I had not even had my period yet. I didn't even have my period yet. So that's when I decided to take a pregnancy test, and that is when it came back positive. And obviously, you know, at first he was like, you know, you're pregnant, and then he started to be really supportive and say like he would stand behind me with whatever decision that I chose. And he was there for me. And so we ended up going back home for winter break, and so I packed all my stuff because I knew I was not coming back. And I basically, you know, went home, and I obviously told my parents. They were supportive. They were supportive, and because my dad actually had my older sister when he was younger and when he was in college, so it was just kind of like, my dad was really supportive, my mom was supportive, her brother, my uncle actually had his first child when he was 18, so they were both really supportive and stuff, and they still are. So basically we ended up I don't really know how to explain it. We just started to, I went down there, I ended up driving down, because he lives in Louisiana and I live in Texas, so I drove 5 hours to go see him 3 days before Christmas, and we just hung out, and I ended up driving back the next day because my family was coming down here for Christmas. But he started to act really distant. He was becoming very distant toward me, and it was just really weird. And I would text him, and it was just really weird. And so we started to argue a lot, and he started to say he was getting really stressed out because obviously he couldn't move in with me. At first he wanted to, but obviously he couldn't because of personal reasons, basically family stuff that's going on, and I just told him, you can't and stuff. So he was getting really stressed out, and we ended up breaking up. So he broke up with me. I don't know what the exact reason why, what the reason was for him breaking up with me. I don't know if it's exactly because we were arguing or if it was because he was stressed out. I don't know the reason why. So we ended up breaking up, and at first it didn't really hit me because I wasn't really worried about that at the time because it was my first trimester. I was throwing up. I was just so sick all the time that I was never really worried about him breaking up with me. I was more so concerned with myself. So I never really paid it any attention. It never really hit me that we had broken up until as I started to feel a lot better and go into my second trimester. So he was my first trimester. So we broke up in January. We started arguing and stuff all the time, and it was just really bad, and I don't know, we just fell out really hard, and he ended up he just stopped talking to me, and he stopped checking up on me. He stopped doing all of that stuff. He just stopped doing it. So we haven't talked in about 2 months now. Last time we talked was in March. And we have not talked ever since March. I don't know why. I don't know what the reason is. I don't know anything. I just know we haven't talked since March. I don't really know what else to say about it. That's basically the story of we broke up, and it's kind of typical, I obviously was it was really hard for me, and it still is. Some nights that, sorry guys, my hair is making my back itch a little bit. There were nights when it was super hard, and I actually cried for 2 months, a whole straight 2 months, where it was just every day I was crying all the time. And he just never cared. He didn't care that I was hurt. He didn't care about any of that. And he said there were times, you know, I'd asked him, do you want to be involved? And every time I did ask him, he said yes. And it was just, I don't know, we just fell out. Like, he just stopped texting me, he stopped calling, he stopped checking up on me, he stopped checking up on the baby and just stuff. And so I just left it alone. So if there's anybody out there that's going through the same thing as me, you know, if he just stops texting you and he stops caring and stops, you know, wondering about you, then I just say, like, just leave it alone. Because I would ask everybody, and I would basically ask everyone, like, should I text him? Should I do this? Should I call him? And everybody just said the same thing, and it was just no. And all of my family and all my friends told me not to text him. Have him, you know, have him text you. That's what he's supposed to do. You know, it's not my job to constantly text him and stuff. And so, yeah, I mean, I'm sorry that this story is just kind of like short and like bland and whatnot. And I know I've seen a lot of other videos that are just kind of like longer and lengthy and stuff like that. But me, it's just, I am like getting so close to delivering and having this baby that it's just like, this story is just so like old to me. Like, it doesn't get to me as it used to. And I used to be so distraught over, I used to cry all the time, and I'm just so tired of that. I'm so tired of crying about it. I'm so tired of, you know, losing sleep over it and just being upset because of something that he did. And obviously, you know, God is going to take care of him. And I prayed for him, and I prayed for his heart, and I still do pray for him. I don't check up on his Instagram, I don't check his Snapchat, I don't text him, I don't call him, I don't have anyone else text him, I don't, you know, I don't do any of that stuff. So I just leave it alone, because honestly, that's really all you can do. If they leave you when you're pregnant, you can't beg them, or even when you're not pregnant, you really can't beg anyone to be in your life. You can't force them to be in your life. If they want to be in your life, then they will. If they want to be in your kid's life, they will be in your kid's life. So yeah, I mean, I cried last night because I was just kind of scared, and I was scared of doing this alone. And you know, obviously my plan is still the same, and it's to raise her to become an amazing woman, and to not let another man, you know, define her or do anything and think he can just get away with it, and, you know, or basically just hurt her and think that she's going to go back to him and stuff. And so that's why I don't text him. That's why I don't call him, because I don't want my daughter to grow up and think that she has to beg for another man to be in her life, or she has to beg for someone to stay in her life, or she has to beg for someone to be her friend, or she has to beg. Like, she should never have to beg anyone to do anything, you know? So that's why I don't text him. That's why I don't call him. You know, it does hurt. It definitely does hurt, but I do things like I you know, organize her stuff. And when I organize her stuff, it just makes me really excited about her coming. Or I straighten my room, I go and talk to my dad, I talk to my friends, and I, you know, will watch a funny movie. I mean, I do so much to not think about him. And one thing that definitely has helped me a lot is obviously praying. And I'm really excited for what God has for me next, and what he has for both of us next. And so I just thought that I should share this video, because I know that there's somebody out there who's going through the exact same thing as I am, and I would love to talk to you. So my social medias are down below. If you're going through the same thing, just DM me, Snapchat me, whatever. Because I would love to hear your stories. I would love to talk to you and stuff. And I just thought that I would share this, story. I know it was just kind of short and just seemed like it was just kind of like a, kind of like a whatever kind of thing. But it is just kind of like a whatever thing because, I'm not the type of person that's just going to, I've gotten over so many things and I've gone through a lot of things in my life. And so I really don't want to have this be the downfall and this really make me become a terrible person because I have to worry about another human being. And right now I'm growing a human being inside of me. So really a dude or a man who, a guy is really the last thing on my mind. And trying to be in a relationship and trying to do that is really the last thing on my mind. So yeah, I just thought like I would share this story because no guy is right. If a guy leaves you, honestly, while you're pregnant, he's a coward. You're a coward if you leave a pregnant woman while she's, leave a woman while she's pregnant carrying your baby. You are a coward. You are a coward, period. Like, I don't care. You are a coward. You're not a real man. So you need to get your life together if you think that that's okay to leave a woman while she's pregnant. It doesn't matter what happened. Like, leaving a woman and not talking to her, not checking up on y'all's baby or anything, or just leaving your child, period, is just not okay. You helped create this baby just like her. It takes two people to have a child. And if she did cheat on you, who cares? Your child did nothing to you. So, your issues should not dictate whether or not you are in your child's life or not. So I just think that, they are cowards if they leave you, and that it's so sad. And all you can do is pray, and pray every day for them, pray for their heart, and pray for your baby and your baby's health, and pray for yourself. And it is the best feeling in the world because God has shown me a lot. I've grown a lot through these past couple of months. I've grown a lot, definitely changed as a person. I feel like I'm becoming more mature, and I'm really excited. And so yeah, I thought that I would make this video. It actually took me like 3 times. This is like my 3rd time making this video because it was just so hard to figure out what to say. I was going way into detail or not sharing enough detail, and I just feel like a good summary of basically what happened was good enough, because obviously I don't want to put all my business out there, because those were mainly the main parts of what happened. Is he left me while I was pregnant. And if he comes back, then he comes back, and he will and comes and talks to me, and we obviously can raise the baby. But I don't want to take him back. I don't want to date him. I don't want to do any of that, because I just have lost a lot of respect. If I have no respect for men who can leave their children at all, or I have no respect for men who cheat. I have no respect for any of that. It's just sad. So yeah, that's that. I don't know what he's doing now. I don't know. So that is that. That is my story. And I'll probably leave some more information at the bottom, of the screen. Some stuff that I might have left out of the video. But this is just, I just wanted to film this video and get it up there because I actually have somewhere to be at 5 o'clock and it is 3:21. So yeah, I thought that I would share this video and hopefully it helps someone. hopefully it did not make it wasn't confusing. Hopefully it was easy for you to understand, and that I made sense, because I really tried. I just kept losing my train of thought a lot of times. Oh, excuse me. I lost my train of thought a lot of times, and so yeah. And let me show you guys my bump. This actually goes over my stomach, but it was just kind of bothering me a little bit. But this is my baby bump. I feel like I look extremely huge. But yeah, this is what she looks like. I am 29 weeks. So yeah, and that is that. So I'm about to go and take care of some things, and I will see you guys in my next video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Check out my social media down below, and don't forget to subscribe and like this video. Bye.